questions or anything like that. And it's my pleasure. I'm so excited to introduce you to Carrie Lee, who works with SISIP out in British Columbia. And the virtual piece really makes it that anybody can join from anywhere and get this really great information. So, Francis, it's your lucky day because you have Carrie Lee as a counselor for finance, and you can ask any questions. It's just you tonight. So, over to you, Carrie.
Wonderful. Thank you so much,
I want to put
Margaret.
your camera on for just a moment.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh. Where's my camera? There we go. Hello, Francis, and thank you for joining me.
Hi.
So I am the financial counselor and advisor at 19 Wing Comox.
Okay.
So if you are lucky enough to be posted down here, I'm your SISIP representative.
Maybe we'll see.
Yes. Well, if you're out on the East Coast, now maybe you've done your time in Yellowknife. They'll reward you with a Comox posting.
Yeah, well, a lot of guys are trying to go there, so we'll see.
Yeah. Are we even on your top 3 wish list?
It's either that or Greenwood. We'll see. My top one is Alcan, so.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. So, but before I do that, I got to go somewhere else. So we'll see.
Okay. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining. And because it is just you and I, at any time, feel free to stop and ask questions. Generally with this virtual training, there is a little hand that you can put up and whatnot. But I think when it's just you and I, it's going to be a little more casual. And so feel free to ask me any questions. I have about 20 years in the financial institution as a background. I came to SISIP as a financial counselor, but leaving behind my mutual fund license with the bank, but have since become re-involved with mutual funds and investing. So I've got quite a bit of history and background, and I just love talking about money and taxes and all that good stuff. So feel free to throw out any questions you might have.
Sure.
The bulk of this particular session is very brief and just to kind of wet your whistle. So we will get into it, and hopefully I might pique a couple questions that you and I can then have a conversation about.
Sure.
So
just 1 second, Francis.
Yeah.
I think I'm hearing a little bit of background noise from your microphone. Heavy breathing in there. So either can you put the microphone a little bit further from your mouth, perhaps?
Is that better?
Much better. Yes. And the other thing too is it's good now, but if it ever needs to, you could always mute your microphone by clicking on the little microphone to the right of your name. It's a toggle. You click on it once, it works. You click on it again, it stops working.
Yeah.
But for right now, that's much better. Thank you.
It's good? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I have a Black Ops for my Xbox, and I can adjust it sensibly, but not on this one.
Okay. Yeah. I was just hearing all the breathing, so I couldn't quite hear Carrie going on. But this is much better now. Thank you.
Sure.
Breathing is good, by the way.
Perfect. All right. So today we're going to talk about how to save and invest for your future. Oh, where do we go?
You can take your camera off if you wanted to, Carrie, while you're.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I can't advance my screen. It should be right there. There we go. There we go.
I had to pass you the ball, my dear.
Thank you. There we go. I have the ball and I'm now on it. So here we go. Let's try this again. So as you can see, SISIP is part of the Canadian Forces Morale and Welfare Services. So what that means is that when you purchase a product or invest with SISIP, a portion of our profits go back into the Canadian Forces Morale and Welfare. So it goes back into the base fund. Here in 19 in Comox last year, that equated to just shy of $83,000. Our local office, along with our local CanEx, contributed to 19 Wing base fund. So we're kind of the
Wow.
we are the boomerang with your money. Much the same as with Canex. When you purchase items at Canex, a portion of their profits go into that base fund. So we all work together as a big group with PST and Canex and SISIP, and we're part of the morale and welfare. So our SISIP vision is to ensure that every member of the Canadian Forces community and their family has financial health and security. And at the end of the day, that we are here to make sure that you guys have stability. We're here to help with your financial counseling if you're having problems with your creditors, or if you have questions about your investments. We're here to help with that to ensure that you can focus on the job that you need to do. So one of the really great online programs and services that are available, there's so many different websites that you can go to get financial advice and calculators. But the Ontario Security Commission has put together an investor education program, and it is, we've got their website at the bottom there that has just a wealth of information about Canadian products. One of the hazards of going online to get your financial advice is Mr. Google will commingle a lot of American sites with our Canadian, and you might start into a question about RSPs, and the next thing you know, you're getting information on a 401k. So by going into this OSC, the Ontario Security Commission's website, you know that you're getting Canadian information, Canadian calculators, and it's a really, really good website. Francis, have you ever had the opportunity to go online for like into one of these type of websites?
Yeah, I did, but it was just for brief information. I never went in depth.
Okay, yeah, because our SISIP, which unfortunately you can't. Well, you could at this point you could still Google SISIP.com, but we're under the CFMWS, the Canadian Forces Morale and Welfare Services, and our SISIP website has a lot of great calculators, but this Ontario Securities Program just has absolutely everything you could possibly want to know about investing in Canada. Everything from your TFSAs, tax-free savings, RSPs, RESPs, calculators to help you calculate how much you need to save today to make sure you have enough money for next week, next year, 10 years from now. Really, really good programs.
Did you want to share the website for a moment?
I sure can. So
if you go up to share in the top left-hand side, then click my web browser.
Okay.
There you go.
There. Oh. There we go. And so here it is, getsmarteraboutmoney.ca. Is it on your screen now?
We can see it now, yes.
Okay, perfect. So, for instance, seeing how it is RSP season, if we go into the RSP savings calculator under the retirement planning, and just click there, you could get on this first calculator an estimate of how much your RSP savings will be worth at retirement. And just by plunking in, what you have today, what your average annual rate of return is, contributing if you're putting in, on a monthly basis or annually, how old you are and how many years till retirement. And it will calculate. And then the beauty of this program, you can also print that off. So you can, kind of keep track of where you are today and then come back and look at it again next year. There's also life events, buying a car, should you be buying versus leasing, the impact of even a 1% on the loan rate, what that makes, adds to the cost of that car. So there's some really, really great information at this getsmarteraboutmoney.ca. And so now, hopefully there we go.
Is this a nonprofit or a government website?
It's through the Ontario Securities Commission, so it's not really government. It's kind of a pseudo-government.
Thank you.
Yeah, through the Consumer Protection Program. And so when we're talking about saving for the future, there's lots of different contributing factors and reasons why, as Canadians, as families, as mums and dads and whatnot, we have contributing factors on why we may not be able to be saving. So as a financial counselor, I find, that the big reason that people cannot save is they find that they're running out of money before they're running out of money. And a great way of taking control of that money is figuring out where you're spending your money. Having a budget and sticking to it. Quite often that B word, people don't want to talk about it, and they don't want to have a whole lot of thought going into it. Excuse me, sorry. But knowing where your money is going is very much an eye-opener. And whether that means you're going to follow...
I'm losing your voice, Carrie.
I am. Sorry, and I think I might be leaning away from my microphone.
There we go.
Is that better?
I can hear it much better.
Sorry, Francis.
Yeah, that's good.
Perfect. So knowing where your money is going, figuring out, where your money has gone last month and deciding if that's how you want to continue going forward, or if you can make some changes to make sure that you have money put aside into savings. There's been a few reports brought out, and of course our season always brings out these reports, that people save for different things that, could be a retirement, could be your big ticket item. And a very happy surprise this year that came out that 42% of Canadians with children are not saving enough for their children's education.
Why is that a happy surprise?
Well, no, I'm sorry, it's not a happy surprise.
Oh, it's not a happy surprise.
Not a happy surprise. I was looking on the other side that we had 58% that are.
Oh,
because that's the report that I saw. 58% are saving for their education, but now I see on this, when it came out in this screen, that they put 42% are not saving enough for their children's education. Also, the rise of credit card use. That the average number of credit cards we've gone from less than one credit card on average in 1991 to now we carry 2.16. Not exactly how many people carry a 0.16 of a credit card.
Well, that's not a bad thing. Like, the credit card is a tool to protect yourselves, right?
Exactly.
It's the way it's brought up. People are not using properly, and in today's world, you cannot work around without a credit card.
Exactly. You're exactly right, Francis. As long as you are recognizing that it's a payment method and not an extension of your payday.
Yeah, that's correct.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. And then the savings in action. So we have 48% of the people who do not save at all. The beauty of being with the Canadian Forces is you're in a forced savings plan where you don't get the option to opt out of your pension. So
yeah.
at least while you have your Canadian Forces job, you are contributing into your pension and saving for the future. But for most members of the Canadian Forces, it's not enough, right? That the plan may be that you're going to do your 25 or 30 years, but if life has thrown you a curveball and you end up with a 3B after 15 years of service, that 30% pension is not going to be enough to sustain a lifestyle that you've probably become accustomed to with your Canadian Forces pay. So today we're going to talk about saving to meet your financial goal, investing your savings, and how you could possibly save more. So saving to meet your financial goal, much like any plan, you need to know what are you saving for, how do you define your financial goals, and to plan for your emergencies. You need to know where you're starting, so it's always good to take that snapshot of here's where I am today. Here's my list of assets and the dollar value attached to them. As of today, here's my list of liabilities, including credit cards, leases, mortgage balances. And the difference there is going to be your net worth. Quite often, people just focus on that liability side and forget to factor in the asset side to see how well they're progressing through. So knowing what you're saving for, it also helps you give that focus on maybe how you should be investing, how much you need to be saving. So here we have knowing what you are saving for and the 5 reasons you save. So you might want to be saving to handle surprise bills and emergencies, to have more choices, to reach your short-term goals, reach long-term goals, or help family and loved ones. And at this point, Margaret had put together a fabulous survey that is it worth, oh, there it is. There it is. So we're going to give you 5 minutes.
Oh, no, I'm not going to give you 5 minutes. It won't take that long. Well, so Francis, what you do here is what are you saving for? And then just click on whatever one it is and then press submit. And then I'll close the poll and we'll see what everybody's saving for.
Can it be more than one, or?
Yes. No, it can only be one in this one.
Eh? So yeah. The most important one, eh?
The most important one to you right now. Yeah. Okay. And it will close in 20 seconds.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. And we'll share the poll results when it's finished closing. There we go. So, reach long-term goals.
There we go. Oh, it did include me as an attendee. I was going to answer it. And I was with you. I was with you, Francis. I was going to reach a long-term goal.
Well, the other one makes like no sense. Like annual emergency bills, I got credit cards for that. Trip. I have a hard time with you know, trips. I don't get it. People do that. Saving for a car, yeah. Help family. You should have money for that anyways. Like, it's the only one that makes sense to me.
Okay. Well, let me put out there trip. What I always recommend as a financial counselor is in your emergency fund, you should always have enough money to pay for an emergency flight home. And you should always have enough money to pay the deductible on your car insurance in case you're in an at-fault accident, and also the deductible on your house insurance in the event that God throws you a curveball and it comes through your living room window. So
oh yeah, sure. Yeah, I have all of that. That's why that's what I'm saying. Like it's
awesome. Awesome. So you are already well prepared for life's emergencies. Good for you. for you. Have more choices, right? If you never want to be forced into making a decision because you don't have the funds to make a better life choice. Your short-term goals might be that trip to touch up your tan, or a trip might be, some people go on spiritual trips. And then reach the long-term goals. Know what you're saving for with the long-term goals. Supplementing your
Losing your sound again, Carrie.
Sorry, there you go. Your long-term goals could be supplementing your CF pension. Maybe you want to retire at 50, and then you're looking at 40 years of retirement. Helping family and loved ones. If you're an only child and you suddenly become the primary care provider on a disabled parent, more and more we're seeing that boomerang family where the children move out and then are forced to move back home, and now you're the care provider. So helping family and loved ones. And sometimes we run into clients that may not have children of their own, but are helping with the education on and with a niece or nephew. So lots of different reasons you might be saving money for a family or loved one. So to define your financial goals, only you can decide what you're saving for. Every dollar you save brings you closer to your goals. And it sounds like you've already got a fairly good start on that. Planning for emergencies. The general rule, have enough to pay today's bills plus living expenses for 3 to 6 months. This may not be so applicable to you, Francis, because you have no risk of being laid off tomorrow.
No, that's not a problem at all.
Exactly.
Which is we're very lucky, and some guys don't get it, but we're very lucky to have that.
Exactly. You know for sure you are going to have a paycheck on the 15th of the month.
Yeah, and some guys just live for that. They don't even work, just wait for that.
Yeah.
They still complain.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. How many years in do you have, Francis?
I did 8 years reserve, and I'm on my 8 years of rec force right now.
Oh, very good.
Yeah,
did you buy back your time?
Yes, and I'm still paying for it right now.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't get my payment in lieu. I did the severance pay.
Yeah.
So I didn't cash it, but there's.
Oh, good for you.
They're playing around with that. They came with amounts, then you kind of got lost in the system, and like, oh, I don't remember that, because the number they came back for reservist, it would be 1-for-1 for the severance pay payment.
Yeah. Yeah.
But my S6 screen last year just changed just like that, so it's not 12 weeks anymore. It's like 2 weeks of severance pay. So the 10 weeks of severance pay just disappeared.
And you didn't take a payment in 2012?
I opted out to get the severance pay, and I keep track of it every year. So last year, 10 year disappeared. So my reserve time just disappeared. So we're gonna be careful with it.
No, absolutely. And more and more that's the case. You have to know what you're entitled to and make sure that your purse ball is reflected appropriately.
Because I remember I was engaged down and I saw the amount. Okay, so you would have 12 weeks, which is about $15,000 at the time. You could cash that and then put it in your RSP account, or cash it and have 51% income tax on it, or get it at the end of your career. But it'd probably be more than 15,000. Then I got posted to Yellowknife, and that's not there anymore.
Yes, you
so
definitely.
I'm looking into that. So what I think probably happened, there's something with the reserve. They changed the policy, and but I don't know.
Well, and it could just be part of the Phoenix merge, right? That the
it could have, Because
right?
even the SOR, they were not able to explain it.
No.
And one of
No.
them even said to me, "Well, you probably don't remember it right." Well, I still have a
Oh,
piece of paper. I showed him the piece of paper that says 12.7 weeks, dated from 2012 or something.
oh,
He
yeah.
was like, "Oh, that's made up. Oh yeah,
Oh,
don't go that way with me."
yeah, no doubt. No. Yeah, hang on to that paper, and
Oh
and
yeah, for sure.
when you get to maybe a bigger base, you might get a more knowledgeable clerk that could help you out with that.
Yeah, I'm working
Yeah,
on that. 'Cause
excellent.
that's a
Good
big
for you.
chunk of my retirement. Right?
Oh, for sure. And your PIL, of course, is going to be paid out at your rank at retirement,
Well,
right?
it's not going to be PIL. It's going to be a severance pay.
Well, yeah, sorry, your severance.
Yeah.
Or if you're 3B, then that's even a bigger significant difference.
Oh, okay.
So I I I think you made a great choice in not taking it and taking it out.
Oh, I know I did.
Yeah, good for you. All right, so now we're going to be looking at investing your savings. So 3 tips to start saving and growing your savings with compound interest. So to start saving, look for options that pay high interest. Well, good luck with that. Only by
Yes.
product. Only by
That is
product.
marketing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think I get at 0.5 with RBC. Tangerine was like 1.75, which is not much.
Yeah. If you can get even that 1.5, 1.75, you're doing great.
Are the interests going to be going up, do you think? That's a tough
Not this
question.
year, I don't think they will.
I don't think so. People are poor. They're making really bad financial calls. It's not going to go up. I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, and while our economy is moving, forward, there's no pressure on the Bank of Canada to raise interest rates.
No, look at the housing market.
Oh, exactly.
It's retarded.
Right? And with the housing market, even as hot as it is, they still don't want to raise interest rates to slow down the housing market. So what used to be our key indicators on what may indicate a Bank of Canada moving interest rates, it's almost like they're rolling the dice. Maybe they will, maybe they won't, but we're not hearing that there's any pressure to raise interest rates this quarter or even next quarter. So they keep telling us that interest rates have nowhere to go but up, but we're not going to see a significant increase over the next 12 months. I'm fairly certain. Excuse me. And then only by products you understand. They're referring to financial products, so RSPs, TFSAs, and then understanding your fees. That is a big one right now with all of the changes and the disclosure rules and whatnot. Understand the fees and know what you're getting, know what you're paying for, which is really just good advice no matter what. Growing your savings with compound interest. You can grow your money you save by investing it to earn a return. So the rule of 72. And Francis, you're familiar with that rule of 72?
No, I'm not actually.
So the rule of 72 is if you take the interest that you're earning, the interest rate that you're earning, and divide it into 72, that's the number of years it'll take to double. So if you're getting a 8% return and you divide that into 72, roughly that is 9 years to double your money. So,
okay, but why 72?
I'm not really sure why 72. It just seems to be that magic number. Yeah, and that works with, doesn't matter. Like, so if you're making 2% interest and you reinvest that 2%, it will take you 36 years to double your investment. So the rule of thumb used to be that if you invested money at, I think it's 8%, yeah, 8%, that every 9 years you will double your money. So when you're calculating the benefits of compound interest, that it's very much a visual presentation of what even a 2% interest rate difference makes on a compounding rate of return.
Wow.
Yeah. Right. So if you invested $10,000 today, right, and then if you're getting 8%, so I'm just going to, I have to write this down. So you invest $10,000 today in 2017. In 2026, that $10,000 will be worth $20,000 if you get an 8% return. So then in 2035, that $10,000 that you invested today is now worth $40,000. If you invest that same $10,000 today, but only get a 4% rate of return, so that is going to take you, 72 divided by 4 is 18 years. So in that same 2035, your $10,000 is only worth $20,000. So that's just a 4% interest rate difference over the same time frame. So the beauties of compound interest is something that everybody should be aware of and understanding the impact of compound interest. So then we're going to talk about how to save more, sticking to your budget, planning your spending, and pay down your debt. Right? Because when you pay down your debt, we just talked about the benefits of compound interest. Well, if you don't pay down your debt and you are paying interest charges at 16, 18, 20%, now you've got compound interest working against you and at a much higher interest rate. So 5 really good reasons to stick to your budget is that you know what you earn, you know what you spend, but to pay your bills on time, to pay down debt, to reduce or eliminate that compound interest working against you, and save for your financial goals.
So in regards to that, like, is it better to get rid of a debt, let's say pay off the car faster, than save, like put them the same amount of money away to save? So what would be the best course of action?
Rule of thumb is go with the higher interest rate. So right now, chances are you're paying more on your debt than what your rate of return on investment would be.
Totally, yeah.
Right?
But if I put all that money on the car, it's gone. If I put, let's say, 10,000 on my TFSA, it's still there. I have financial leverage. So when I show up to the bank, I have 10,000 in the bank. But if I put in a car, that money's not there.
But if you pay down your car by that 10,000,
but I'm still paying for the car. Like even like the loan is still there. Like let's say 10,000 is not enough to pay it off. Like what should I do? Should I pay the car, like, or just save that money?
Well, again, do you know what interest rate you're paying on your car loan?
Yeah, I'm at 4.75, and I got about 15,000 to go.
Okay, so if you pay down your car loan by that 10,000, you're saving yourself that 4.75% interest on $10,000. Could you invest the money in your TFSA and get a better return than 4.75%,
No, no, not a chance.
then you should pay down your car loan.
Faster?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then your car loan is going to be eliminated quicker, and then that monthly payment you put into your TFSA on a monthly basis, building up your asset of the TFSA, and now you've eliminated liability and you have a lien-free vehicle or an asset.
Yeah, yeah, okay, makes sense. So it would be better in that case to get rid of the loan on the car.
Yes.
Okay.
And there you go, spend your money on items with lasting value. So paying down your debt. Budget a set amount each month. Get rid of your high interest debt first, and that's always the rule of thumb. If you have extra money, you always put the extra payment on the credit that's charging you the highest interest rate. Consolidate different debts into one only if you are going to get a better interest rate than what you're getting on the individual ones, and only if you are not going to reuse those credit cards. So often we see that people consolidate their credit cards into one easy payment and cut their interest rate from 20% down to 11%, and then 1 year later are looking at those credit cards at full balance again, and 1 year into a 5-year loan on their last consolidation loan. So consolidate your different debts into one, only if you have the self-control not to use those credit cards to accumulate debt again, and only if you get a better interest rate. Set up automatic savings plan. Absolutely set up a savings plan. Think of your savings account, whether it's your TFSA or RSP, think of it as a bill payment. That if you have, when you're budgeting to pay your phone bill, pay your cell phone, pay your hydro, pay yourself as well, then you'll always have money put aside. Make an extra mortgage payment. That goes a huge way to saving you total interest costs over a 25-year amortization. And then that again, make an extra mortgage payment versus savings, make that extra mortgage payment.
Carrie, you were saying one mortgage payment makes a huge difference? One extra mortgage payment?
Yeah, if you make your regular mortgage payment, say it's $800 a pay, like $800 per payment, if on your next time your mortgage payment is due, if you double that, the extra payment goes straight to principal reduction. And then if you compound that over the remaining life of your mortgage, it makes a significant difference.
Thank you.
That's where a lot of the lenders.
Should I save or put all the extra money in the mortgage?
If the money is earmarked for your mortgage, increase your mortgage payment by the amount you were saving, because the quicker you get it onto that mortgage to reduce the principal, the quicker you're reducing your interest expense.
Well, the mortgage, in my case, will never be paid off. It's always going to be there. So if I do this, I will never put money aside.
Well, you are putting money aside because you're building up equity in the house, right? You're just going with a different type of savings.
Yes, but the housing market is very variable. I might not get what I want, depending on the season I sell. So if I sell the place in the fall, I'm not gonna get I'm gonna get way less than what I would get in the springtime. So it's all money I lost, and since I didn't save, that's all gone. I don't have the financial leverage.
Well, whether you have that in savings in a bank account or you've got it as equity in the house.
But I can't go take that equity and buy a piece of bread, but I can with my TFSA.
Yeah, I'm not sure that I follow you there, Francis.
Well, if I put all my money, all my extra money to make an extra mortgage payment, that in my case, depending on where I sell the house, I know like the interest rate the interest part of it is gonna be less. But the thing is, I'm putting a lot of money in the mortgage, and it's money I'm never gonna see. And you're saying, oh, we're gonna pay your mortgage quicker. Not in my case. I will always have a mortgage.
But the mortgage payment that you're making, right, a portion of it goes to interest of every payment.
Yeah.
So the quicker you pay down your principal, the less interest you're going to be paying, which will then build up your equity faster than if you're putting the money aside into your TFSA.
Yes, but the equity it's only there. Like, let's say my house is worth $350, okay, but I'm only going to get the equity if somebody actually comes in and pay me $350. I might not get that. So it's only worth what somebody wants to buy it for.
Yeah.
But my TFSA with 10,000 in there, it's 10,000. No matter what people think, it's still there. So that's my question: should I save or put everything in a mortgage?
Well, you, I would say you put it into the mortgage, because when you sell the property, if there is more owing than what the property's worth, you're going to have to take the money out of the TFSA to satisfy the mortgage anyway.
Yeah, I guess.
Right? So then at least if you've been paying that extra on your mortgage right from the get-go, you're saving that interest expense along the way as well. Unless you can get a better return on your TFSA than the rate of interest you're paying on your mortgage.
No, probably not. No.
Right.
They're going to be about the same, I guess.
It's great food for thought, though, that's for sure.
Well, I see guys saying that, oh, pay up your debt. Like the car, like you're always going to have a car debt. And there's two schools of the way of looking at it. Like you could pay your car cash, but then you lose all that money that you could do something else with it. And the interest rates are usually low for a good loan. And when you sell your car, you're not going to make as much. So you're, in a way, you're kind of, if you pay your car cash, you're selling yourself short.
But if you finance that car, you end up paying more for the car than if you had paid cash for it.
Well, for myself, if I look at the numbers in a 5-year period, I'm paying $2,000 to finance it. So, but that will keep me from putting all my money. Like technically, when I bought the car, it was $15,000. I mean 25. And then if I put it over 5 years, it's 28, which is not much. But instead of putting that 25 grand, up front, I still have it and I have the car.
And so what would you do with that extra $3,000 over the 5 years?
Well, right? 3,000 over 5 years, it's not much.
Well, to some people that's not much. To other people, that's a great, that could be half a year of tuition in university.
Yeah, I guess.
So it really is all about different choices, right? And
absolutely.
Yeah. So you
I'm
have to really weigh
common ground. It's very hard to find a common ground.
Yeah. It's finding your happy medium, right? But where are you most comfortable for your own situation, right? If you have a really, really good credit rating and you're always getting the very best interest rates on all your loans, then it makes sense to have money put aside in savings if you're investing it and getting a better rate of return than what you're paying on your loans, right? But this is also assuming that you've got your money set aside for your emergency savings, and now you're looking at, you still have a surplus on a monthly basis, whether to pay down debt or invest. generally it's better to pay down debt. But if you're looking at that liquidity of your equity, so is it better having the lower mortgage versus the money in your tax-free savings, right? It depends what you plan on doing with that money and why you need the equity in a liquid state versus locked into the value of your house.
I see.
So, yeah. Every situation is unique, and your situation will be, ever changing in Yellowknife versus, your next posting. Your next posting, it may not be in your best interest to buy, right? During the APS last year, we had very few people buying in Comox because we are kind of caught in the Vancouver loop in that our housing prices are just crazy right now.
Yeah, it is actually, yeah.
Right? Definitely not a buyer's market. And if you're only posted here for 2 or 3 years, that puts you in a precarious spot that you're buying in when markets are hot and taking the risk that you're going to be selling when markets start to cool. So this, our last APS, I wasn't recommending members coming into Comox that you buy here unless this is your final posting.
Yeah, it's very expensive, and there's no PDL there, so it's
no PLD, exactly.
Yeah, PLD would be rough just with a basic income.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas if you're posted to a Esquimalt, they still have the $856 a month.
Yeah, which help a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're only 2.5 hours south of us.
Yeah, well, they're doing a review on that. It should come out at the end of the year, they said.
Yeah, they do this review about every 4 years.
Yeah, I think we're due for a PDL adjustment.
So let's move on to see what's next.
Sure.
Sorry, here we go. Saving money is financial freedom. So by taking action now versus waiting 15 years. So the numbers on the left, if you start saving at age 25 and you invest $20,000 and then $2,000 a year for the next 10 years, at age 65, if you get a 6% return, you would have accumulated $160,492. So there's compound interest working on your side. If you had received a 9% return over that same, 40-year time span, you see that significant difference, $433 by investing the exact same amount, but getting a better rate of return. Now, if we say we're going to wait for 15 years, we're not going to start saving until we're 40, and we invest that same 20%, and again, $2,000 a year for 10 years, at age 65, there you have compound interest. You didn't give enough time for it to work, and there's only $66,967. So there's that compound interest working on your behalf, and that's just over a 15-year difference. Makes a significant difference.
Wow, you got to start saving early.
Start saving early, and you're literally saving the same amount of money. It's just how long are you leaving it there invested so that compound interest works on your behalf. Right? So at 25, if you invest $20,000 and then $10,000 for 10 years, so at age 35, you stop your investment plan. At age 65, you still have just shy of $500,000. Yeah.
We have to have more young adults looking at this information, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. On the other side, if you wait until 40, that means that you have to leave the money in that savings account until you're 80 and then start drawing it out. Well, not many people want to wait until age 80 to start drawing out their savings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so start when you're young, when you're first starting out in your career. And, you know, $2,000 a year, that's about $180 a month for 10 years, and then you're golden. Although I don't know many 25-year-olds that have $20,000 to invest either, though. For your
Not after university.
Oh, hold it. There we go. Dad just pointed out that that's not even starting with the seed money of 20. That starts saving at age 25, $2,000. So you're only ever investing your $20,000. There you go. That makes even more sense. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Start investing. Yeah. There you go. Good. Good. So with SISIP, you've got a lot of financial solutions. We have the cash savings plan, which is a self-directed plan. I'm sorry, we're over here in the top right corner. That's administered through Great-West Life. Then we've got the Fundex investment platform. Manulife Bank offers a high-interest savings, and they've got a promotion on right now for their guaranteed their savings account is at 1.5. But then also part of your financial solution is making sure you have the appropriate level of insurance, with your SISIP travel insurance, your house insurance through the personal. Community Defense Bank, which of course is the Bank of Montreal, offers all of your checking and savings needs. And then our Support Our Troops program, which is part of the base fund and part of our gross proceeds go into Support Our Troops program. So that's that morale and welfare. The money you invest with SISIP turns around and helps support the morale and welfare program.
You're losing your sound again, Carrie.
I am. Yeah, well, and I think I'm actually losing my voice. I'm SISIP Financial, almost everywhere you are. So for Francis, we don't have anybody up there. Our Edmonton and Cold Lake offices take care of our members up in Yellowknife and Alert. But we have locations across the country. And of course, with the help of Margaret, she is helping us with these virtual and bringing you the virtual training. That doesn't really matter where you are and where we are. Margaret's bringing us all together.
That's true.
And so we exist to look after your financial health. And there's that link again. And I believe Margaret is going to be sending you an email, Francis, that will have that link in it. And we'll also have my email address. So if you have any questions or comments that you want to make directly to me, feel free to use my email.
What is your email address?
So I am Lee, L-E-E, .Carey, with a K, at CFMWS, Canadian Forces Morale and Welfare Services.com.
Very good. Hello, Rebecca.
Hi.
So we're just actually wrapping up, Rebecca, but we're going to have another one in French.
Yeah, my kids' homework went long.
Well, isn't that good? I'm so glad that you looked after your kids' homework, because that's a tough job you've got. But the session is recorded, so you'll get all the information, but we're going to be here if you have any questions. So Carrie works for SISIP.
Okay.
And Francis, do you have any questions at this time?
No, not really. That covered a lot of my points there.
Excellent.
The big thing for me was, where do I put the money? Do I get rid of the debt, or do I invest? Yeah.
And have you thought of connecting with a SISIP financial officer or advisor near you to get those answers one-on-one?
I did years ago, but he wasn't very good.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, you have my contact information, Francis. I'm happy to look at your particular situation and maybe give you some helpful advice.
Yeah, I'll look into it. Yeah, I'll
Perfect.
crunch some numbers and see, try to draw a line somewhere.
Yep,
Excellent.
absolutely.
Well, and we're next week we're going to be talking about credit cards and credit rating and all that important thing. And then the third week in the session, we're talking about deployment readiness and financial decisions. So please feel free to share the flyer. I'll send it out again in the after-session email. And I'm really pleased that you came, Francis. Thank you.
My pleasure.
There'll be an evaluation when you leave the session. If you could fill that out, that would really help us out.
Okay, sounds good.
Awesome.
Thank you, Francis. Thank you, Margaret.
You guys
You're welcome.
Have a good evening.
Yes,
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.
So, Rebecca, do you have any questions for Carrie?
I guess not at this moment. I saw the post and I figured to join, and now I know how to connect with the app.